one, and then you'll come up.
All right, we're going to come back to this side. And that woman way in the back.
Hi, thank you for coming to New Hampshire. I'm a teacher, and most of my students are military kids. And if you think most here that have been in the military will agree with me, that is just not the fighters themselves that come back damaged and have problems after, the deployments. Also, my brother was 20 years in the Army. He's totally disabled and unemployable. So I've seen a lot of this upstate. And I've got a yes/no question for you, and then just one if you want to give, your opinion on it. One, could you use your bullet, please, for those of us with military deployments and for the people that suffered during 9/11 to get 28 pages declassified so we know everything that happened, with the 9/11
I don't know what the 28 pages are.
There are 28 pages of the report on 9/11 that have been classified, and they won't let people know what they are. And so would you use, you can read up on it, we'll give you websites and stuff.
Okay, I'm looking at it until I see.
Yeah, and that's...
Since I don't have classified information, I can't tell you what it is, to tell you whether it should be declassified. I know where to go, though. It's the Chinese, because they have Please give me, I'd love to get the information. As it relates to the vet.
And second question,
Give me the information.
the real question, what's your feelings and everything about the remilitarization of Japan and the whole deal going on in the East and South China?
Very troubling as we pull back, as we send a signal. When the president says there's a red line, I'm serious, take it to the bank, and then says, well, never mind. Or when a president says that ISIS is the JV team, and then does nothing to create a strategy. In fact, he admits that there is no strategy, and ends up, the signals don't just stop like in that region. Those signals are sent all around the world. And so Japan, I think, feels that the alliance with the United States is not a take-it-to-the-bank kind of relationship. It's strong, but it's not a place where they see these pressing threats as China becomes more aggressive. China, as you pointed out, I think you're implying that they're building a military base in the middle of the South China Sea, 100 miles off their coast. That's an extraordinary act. And I don't think that would have happened had the United States sent signals that we weren't serious about maintaining our alliance with Korea, with Japan. That's a very provocative act. And so I think one thing to create a more peaceful world is for the United States to remain engaged in the world. When we pull back other countries then that have relied on us, and maybe we should have greater financial responsibility for the countries that have benefited by our support. That's a legitimate point. But only the United States can work in partnership with countries to create a more peaceful world, and that's not happening right now. Rod, you want to say something?
I would love to. After our last talk, we discussed Proverbs 22:9, which is about feeding the poor. And you asked you said you weren't sure if you had a solution. And so
I had a solution, which was that you and I and everybody else here acts on their heart to take care of their neighbors when they need it. I didn't have a federal solution.
That was HR
okay.
Which is actually a Republican from New York put into Congress. It's called the Fighting Hunger Incentive, which is tax incentives. And it was gutted last year to become a federal trade act. And so I just thought I'd bring that here. And if you're willing to do another prayer for peace with me today, I'm sure.
Come on up, brother. This is my friend Rod. He comes to a lot of events. Good Lord, we ask that you watch over all of us, make sure that disagreements don't turn into serious problems. I am praying for peace for all of us, for the sick and infirm, that we act on our sense of consciousness to help them in their times of need. to say hello to everybody. I appreciate you being here. Hope you have a wonderful weekend.